Wires are crossed, folks. Presenting sponsor of the Husker game recap, Dingman's Collision Center. What sets Dingman's apart? By now, we should all know this. I'm going to administer a test to everybody at the end of the season on Dingman's Collision Center. Not about who led Nebraska in tackles or anything like that. It's going to be about Dingman's. They're family-owned, family-operated. The roots run deep in Omaha. They've been the trusted name in collision repair in Omaha for almost 30 years, building a reputation by doing things the right way and taking care of people one repair at a time, earning them to be voted first place and best of Omaha for 20 straight years. 4 convenient locations across the Omaha metro area, 120th and Maple, 144th and Industrial Road, 50th and Saddle Creek, and downtown Papillion. Proud to be partnering with Dingman's Collision Repair. He's Bo Ruud. I'm Nicholas Allen Baugh, and I am in Cincinnati in a horrifically lit hotel room. It's like a cloudy, gloomy day in Cincy. It's one of those hotel rooms where, like, the only lights are lamps. And
yes.
Yeah, like, so I don't know. So I feel like I'm having to almost like put one lamp directly on me, but then I feel like I don't know what's going on.
You're in a haunted hotel, Nick.
I'm in the haunted hotel in Cincinnati. Bo Ruud is at his
lamp guy walks. He's like, "You need another?" You're like, "No,
no." It's honest. I feel like I'm walking through a cave. Like, all right, so Emit Johnson, he's doing good. For our YouTube audience, they understand what's going on. For just the podcast audience, hopefully it sounds okay. So we'll see how this goes. Nebraska wins on the road in the Rose Bowl, 28-21 over UCLA. I mean, it's amazing how going into this thing, I was ready to I thought Nebraska was going to lose. I was ready for a kind of a poor, clunky performance and have everybody just kind of go, well, come on, man, what do you expect? It's TJ Lateef. He's a freshman, and their offensive line's banged up. That's what I was bracing myself for.
Yeah.
So for the game to play out the way that it did, it was completely different. Bo, arguably the best offensive performance of the season. I know it was only 28 points, but come on.
Nick, I would say other than Wisconsin last year, it's the best our offense has looked for multiple years, probably the cleanest game we've played as an offense, right?
Yeah.
And we talked about this last pod was we can maybe actually learn more about where the program is without Dylan than with Dylan in a weird way. And I feel better about where our program is from that game, maybe than from any other game this year. Truthfully.
I know. Well, okay. So I hate that. I think the elephant in the room is people are feeling like the sentiments that we just expressed.
Yeah.
But the elephant in the room is like, well, then is Dylan the problem? And I don't want to go right to ridiculousness right away. But I think I'm having a hard time wrestling a bunch of things in my head of okay, that's the best the offense has looked. It was with TJ Lateef under center. How much of it is Lateef and his ability to run and how much that just opens things up for an offense that has shortcomings? Yeah. And how much is it UCLA that, let's be honest, that's not they had a nice little surge, but that team, I think they're in the 120s in rush defense. That team's not great. So I'm having a hard time wrestling all of those things here at once.
Well, I think we start with that UCLA defense was bad. I thought they were probably the worst defense we've seen in the Big Ten. Probably, yeah, I'd say safely, I would say that.
I agree.
So that's going to be a part of this whole equation, right? But Holgorsen called a great game under the circumstances. I felt like everybody else sort of elevated their game because they had to, right? There was a little bit of that, the offensive line played as clean as they have played all year. I know we're going to get to Emmett a little bit, but all the skill guys, it just felt like everybody knew they needed to do a little bit more. And that's you can't downgrade Dylan because of that. But I do think that's going to be interesting to see as these last 2 games are played. Is there something where Dylan's style is just a little bit harder on our team right now versus if we had all the pieces? I obviously think he's the best guy for the job, right? But when you don't got the pieces, that's been the big argument. I still obviously fall back to Dylan's the guy, right? I wouldn't go away from that. But It is worth noticing, God, this guy walked in and we were able to execute and just really had a clean game with a first-time freshman QB. So it's interesting. It's worth talking about.
Yeah.
Nothing to get, I think, overly concerned with yet. But it was interesting, right?
Yes, I think Dirk had a tweet, and it was almost exactly along the lines of something you and I have talked about at the start of the year on what a running quarterback can do for an offense and for a team that has holes and isn't quite there. This was Dirk's tweet. He goes, I don't want to make any grand proclamations about TJ Lateef based on 3 drives. So this was like in the middle of the game.
Yeah.
But I will say this. Quarterback mobility adds so much to a college football offense, takes pressure off of everyone else. Of course, this has been true for generations. I think that's the thing that is the through line with all of this, of his ability to run opened up a lot of the playbook, opened things up more for some true play action, for some true like on the run throws. Sure. For some true zone read quarterback keeper stuff. And so I think that's a part of it, but I do agree that like I thought Holgorsen called a great game. I thought everybody else elevated. And the beauty of this is we'll figure out what the answer is to all these questions now with these last 2 games. Because Penn State almost beats Indiana. Going to be a rocking environment. It was like more Husker fans in the Rose Bowl in last night's game. So it's hard to say that was a hostile environment. And then it's Iowa coming to town, who almost beat Oregon. So I don't know. I'm just it's exciting to see what Lateef could do. But you watch this offense who had been this offense has been clunky for a lot of the year, and all of a sudden they look good, and you're going, well, wait a minute, what's going on? The 5-star quarterback that's the deal, he's not in there, and all of a sudden everything looks great. It's weird.
It is weird, but we need to see Lateef against better defenses. I mean, the Iowa defense will be like, you'll find out a lot in that game, especially. I mean, Penn State's obviously they're no slouch either. So, I mean, it's going to be a couple of real tests for this offense. But I'm not writing too much into the quarterback thing yet. I think my big takeaway was I was more impressed with the program. Like the program from that game, even though it's UCLA, like that's a game we would have lost for many, many, many years in a row because that quarterback beats teams that don't know how to close. That guy did. That guy is like, he's hard to deal with, right?
Yeah.
And so he'll beat you. I mean, he'll beat you if you're not ready. He beat Penn State. Like he's capable of, if you're hanging around the game, that guy's a difference maker, right? But we've come farther than I realized we were because that team closed out a game they were supposed to win like a good team's supposed to do. Like we just kind of did what we were supposed to do there. And that tells me like, God, we did it without Dylan too, right? So the team and the program, I feel like are in a little bit better place than I even thought we were 1 week ago. So that was the test that I wanted to see from the program. Not even as much about Lateef, Dylan. Like I wanted to see where the program's at, and I feel like the program's in better shape than maybe even originally expected.
Yeah, I think the theme of the night was just kind of quarterback mobility because you're watching Lateef and then you're watching Nico, and you're like, you're terrified of him running. So it just was like quarterback mobility was top of mind for a lot of people watching that game from a Husker perspective the entire time. Yeah. So what? They scored a touchdown on their first 4 drives. You know what's amazing is if the first touchdown of the game, the little zig motion out to Barney, man, that is, if that throw is a half a tick late or a little bit behind Barney, that thing is a pick six the other direction. And it's amazing how just like, they talk about football being a game of inches. Like that throw is 6 to 10 inches different. And maybe the whole feel of the game evolves from that point.
Well, how weird is it too? Like, the broadcast got like delayed or whatever. So like when I turned on, I'm on YouTube TV. When I turned it on, it was that play. I was like, this is where we're starting it was kind of like, you were just like shocked almost like, okay.
Yes.
Nebraska's got a touchdown. Start the game. Let's go.
Right away. Right away. I mean, so Lateef goes 13 of 15, 205 yards. Nebraska scores a touchdown in its first 4 drives. Really that was incredibly efficient. What was there anything different with the playbook, the play calling? I mean, of course you can call designed runs that are different, but did anything stand out to you? Because it felt like Holgorsen had a great day. Obviously the screen pass was good. I loved the wheel route, the roll right throwback to Emmett on the wheel. Did anything feel like dramatically different from Holgersen's perspective?
It was essentially what we discussed. We're like, hey, they need to do some RPO. They need to do things where, Lateef is basically getting out of the pocket and he's moving. He's got simple reads. Like everything was a simple read for the guy. They all were simple. Or like, the plays were like Barney's on the shallow cross, and they're essentially, it's almost like a screen, right? The people are going up the field. He's running so flat that you can block essentially, right? So like there was way more of those kind of plays for Lateef than you would give to Dylan. Like Dylan, you're going to give more like, full progression plays, and they gave Lateef just far fewer of those, right? He had way more just simple plays that I call it more like manufactured plays. Like, hey, we got something manufactured so you have an easier throw or a decisive decision you get to make, right? Versus like if he's out there trying to make, see the whole field, they wanted less of that. They wanted less of the line having to just straight pass. Like, so everything was manufactured to be simple and safer. And I loved it. It was the right exact thing to do. So it was just such a good job of understanding the situation as a coordinator, putting your guy in a situation that he's going to have a chance to succeed. And he did.
0 sacks.
Well, we're going to have to talk about the club. This is next week. But I mean,
0 sacks. So a lot of it was him on the run. It was him like true bootlegs or true sprint outs. There were a couple of moments where it was a true pocket throw and the line was able to hold up. And, on the one in the pocket, he hits Dane Key on a crosser, and Key gets all the way down inside the 5 where it was a true good pocket where he looked good. It is amazing. Whenever Emit comes out of the game, were you, when you were watching, whenever you could see that Emit wasn't lined up in the backfield, you were like, well, this is probably not going to be a hand, or your fear level of of a running attack hurting you in those moments are low. Like that'll be interesting to see how they do that. Whenever Emmett's out of the game, you're like, well, this is probably going to be a pass, or just everything changes when he's out of the game.
Yeah, we're way less scary as soon as he walks out of the game.
The other thing, so Lateef started 11 for 11. His first incompletion came in the fourth quarter, and it was on like an errant screen pass to, I think it was Nelson that he was trying to get it out to. The other thing that was, and we'll get to the defense in a second, but this kind of ties into it. Bo, on the final drive to run the clock out, talk about confidence in Lateef in that spot. It would have been real easy, and in fact, I was finding myself saying this because Devin Gardner kept saying, like, Matt Rule told us they're going to call plays like it's Dylan's out there aggressively, and I was like, I don't know about in this spot. Just give it to Emit and let him close this thing out. But they throw the ball twice, and in some ways, those two throws kind of salt the game away because I don't know what you thought. It felt like if UCLA got the ball back, they were going to score because Nebraska's defense felt gassed.
Yeah, we looked gassed. It was an interesting game in the sense of like both offenses chewed up a lot of clock, right? They chewed up a ton of clock each, which, like I said, it just felt like there wasn't that many drives altogether. There just weren't.
No.
So yeah, I think both defenses were tired, and the last thing you want to do is give that QB the ball back. And so I think that's part of the reason why they went for it. It was like the strategy of like that quarterback was playing at a level where I think you kind of needed to take that chance. The risk reward of like, it's not going for it in fourth, but it was going for it on, it was a third down throw, right? Mm-hmm. And I believe so. And so I think they had a play they liked too. You know what I mean? Like it looked like everybody felt good about that play. So I think if you got a play that you like, that defense isn't scary. I think that's part of what you weigh up and you say, let's take a chance, right? Where I like the conservativeness is where I think it was maybe the drive or two before that where it was
third and long, kind of it, yeah.
Third and long, and they handed it off on a draw, and that was where I went, good job. Like I was like, good job, pin them down, and they did, right? Like that is exactly that's the type of mentality I think you got to have when you got to lead. And, you do have a young quarterback in. Like, that's where you hand it to Emmett. You just say, there's no chances being taken right now. We'll win with field position, make them earn it.
So with 3 minutes left on this final drive, 7-yard pass from Lateef to Dane Key. It was on 1st and 10. On 2nd and 3 at the Nebraska 41 with 2:22 left, TJ Lateef hits Isaiah Hunter along the sideline for a 17-yard gain, which – those two plays were big ones because they had timeouts and the 2-minute warning coming.
Yeah.
And it moved the ball. But I'm with you. I think Rule and Holgorsen felt what we're kind of talking about, where it felt like if UCLA got the ball back, that QB was just going to be able to scramble or find a way to just get the ball down the field and score. And then all of a sudden in overtime, you have no idea what this thing's going to look like. But all in all, I was impressed. There were not a lot of I don't remember a procedure penalty, there was no delay of games. There was so things were clean. I was worried about turnovers, no turnovers. Lateef looked comfortable. The offense was on schedule. It just was an impressive operation considering the fact that dude, true freshman, impressive. Really impressive.
You pointed out no procedurals, right? I mean, usually a freshman's first start, there's like one delay a game, a couple of false starts because the snap count's different. And Lateef seemingly handled that stuff very well. There was a few times I noticed him he was bringing guys in and he was calling, one time they made a TFL on us and he was calling out the guy that was blitzing.
Right.
I'm like, that's great to see. I could sense that he kind of, for a freshman, had pretty darn good command of what was going on. He didn't seem rattled about what he was supposed to do and how to execute the plays he was running. So great to see.
Remember Jeff Sims early on would be the snap would hit the motion guys. They would fumble under center. They would do it. It's not a given that those things are just going to cleanly happen. And so TJ Lateef did all of that. Okay. It's ridiculous that we are this far into it and we haven't talked about Emit Johnson. I mean, good Lord. 28 carries, 129 yards and a touchdown, 3 catches, 104 yards receiving, 2 touchdowns. So 31 touches, 232 total yards.
Yeah.
This guy, Bo. So here's some just nationally. 1,131 rushing yards. That's second nationally. 1,431 yards from scrimmage. First nationally. 14 total touchdowns. Fourth nationally. At this point, is this dude in the, I'm not talking just, I think he's a first team all Big Ten back. That's almost locked up to me.
Which is, Nick, even 3 weeks ago, we're saying he's not.
Right.
And all of a sudden, Nick, it's crazy to watch this guy continue to get better. I was thinking about this before the pod. I'm like, okay, how do you even describe what that was last night? And what I kind of took away was it's been a long time since I've seen somebody single-handedly take over a game for Nebraska. From start to finish, he took over a game and pretty much dominated it. And you could see the confidence he plays with now is different than even the start of the year. He is extremely confident. And so now you can throw it to him. You can kind of do whatever you want. And he makes something out of every play he touches the ball. So this guy is exceeding all expectations. He's so much better than I thought he was.
Oh.
He's so much better than I thought he was 3 weeks ago. And he's getting better. So he is our best player. He was the best player on the field, including maybe the UCLA quarterback. I think he was the best player. And so it's cool to see this, though, to see a Cornhusker take over a game and dominate, really, and they have that sort of confidence. Like it's great to see that. Like you could just sense the confidence just flowing out of him.
His feel right now, the jump cuts, the able to slither through tiny creases, know when to dance, when to kind of stick your head down.
Yeah, he's seeing the field. He's just seeing it all. Like
he's just seeing it. It's
he's
like
he's so choppy though. He's like this weird choppy runner. So you're like, is this guy that good? And you're like, oh, he is good. Like he's so good. And you're just like, you almost don't want to believe it, but you got to believe it now.
You're right.
He is that good.
You said it. He's so much better than I thought he was in the offseason. He's so much better than what I thought he was even 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Like it is at this point, he just, every game comes and I'm just blown away. And you would think that at this point we should be like used to it or know what's going to come. And he just, even like the good players, and we've talked about this so many times with Nebraska over basically since Amir, like that's pass that he takes to the house. That wasn't like a guaranteed house call.
Nope.
But good players know how to read blocks, set up blocks, cut back, when to accelerate, how to read it. Like that play was like, oh, this is a guy that is just on another level than everybody, where you get him in space, he's going to make you pay. But it is just, he's making me rethink a lot of things. I've talked to you about this before, and I've always thought this, that running backs are typically the one position that you can see it right away. You saw Rex carry it one time, you're like, that guy's really good. You watch Amon Green carry it one time, you go, that guy's really good. Lawrence Phillips carry it one time, you're like, whoa. I didn't feel that with Emit Johnson necessarily right away. And now this guy is like a first-team All-American, damn near.
But he has gotten better. So like his feel, like I feel like early in the year he was still pressing a little bit. You know, he had that fumble. He had like it feels like he is. I don't know how to describe it other than like he was seeing part of the field and he was seeing it, and then all of a sudden it's just like whoosh, and everything slows down. He is at full speed because it looks like a different gear that he is hitting right now with everything he's doing, with seeing the holes, making the cuts, getting the extra yards after contact. Like, start of the year, I feel like he was missing some, and now it's like he's getting yards every time he gets a chance.
You're right. I think I'm in like basketball mode, so I'm calling games right now. So I'm thinking about just the element in basketball that I think can be true for a running back and really any position to a certain extent, where the game, it feels like everything else is in slow motion, but he's seeing things and it's happening in real time. Usually you see these jumps from like one off season to the next. It seems like somehow everything's moving in slow motion to him in these tiny creases in between the tackles that he's doing stuff. And the other thing too, Bo, is his durability too. He has this way about him. Like, think about last 3 games, 27 carries, 29 carries, 28 carries. As a former running back that you were and a linebacker, you know how, like, the toll that can take on you. He rarely gets, like, no one ever really gets, like, a clean shot on him. It's weird how he runs tough, but no one ever just hammers him. But his durability, there isn't even a time, and maybe he's just tough and doesn't show it, but there isn't even a time where you're going, oh man, he looks like he's getting up and nursing it a little bit. Like that dude pops up every time.
No, he's a really good athlete. Obviously, he's just not like a freakazoid athlete, right? He's not that big, and he carries his weight good, right? So he's not one of those guys that's like short and just like a bodybuilder, right? He's not a little skinny guy, so he's durable, but he's not big. So but he carries his weight naturally, which I think helps him like his endurance. I think he's like you say, he just doesn't get tired. You can play him, 80% of the snaps, which is a lot. Like it's a lot for a running back. But man, he's just really a good football player. And that's probably the best compliment you can give somebody is that you're really good. It's not just, hey, you're born bigger, faster, stronger. Like, he's a guy that's had to work at it. Like, but he's just good at the game. And so, like, and this might be a kind of a weird path.
Give me weird path.
I remember watching his high school film as he came out of high school as a recruit, and he was Mr. Football out of Minnesota. And like, it's like he's doing the things he did when he was Mr. Football. It just took him time and opportunity and confidence to get back to that spot. Like, you're not that good of a player. Let's say, Minnesota's a pretty big state. So like, to be the best player in that state means you're good. You're really dang good. But he's not the physical marvel of like a Saquon Barkley or some of these guys that are just like a Leonard Fournette. Those guys are they're like man-childs, right? Like, those guys come out of high school, you're like, what are you? You squat.
Adrian Peterson, the guys that are just a freak.
He's not that. He isn't, but he's Mr. Football. He is that good. To be Mr. Football means you're great at the game. And I think what you're seeing is that's that side of him that, like, I'm the best player in Minnesota, is coming out right now. That he was the best player on the field. He's got physical gifts, right? He's just not Saquon physical gifts, right? So that's the part that, like, I think we had to come around on, is like, oh, this guy is that good, and this is what good looks like. It's just like he sees it all and he's making it all happen.
It's just, you're right though. He's not a burner. He's not huge. He's not necessarily super quick. He's just a good runner. He's hard to tackle. And
he just makes it happen. He's turning nothing into 4 yards. He's turning a 3-yarder into a 10-yarder. And now he's shown he can make the big play too. Like, he can run the wheel. He can take the screen pass to the house, right? Like, he's smart. He goes down to keep the chains moving. Like, he's a winner, right? Those are plays that are winning plays.
He is becoming one of the most, on a team that has Dylan Raiola, Dylan's the face of the program. Emmett's becoming, I think Emmett's the most popular player on the team.
He's the fan favorite. I mean, he is my favorite guy to watch right now. He's my favorite player for sure.
I just cannot believe how good he's gotten.
Well, and I can't believe it. He plays with heart too. Like, he's a guy I would love to be in his team, because I've never spoken to him. I've barely heard him speak, but I promise you, by the way he plays, I'll like that guy, and he's a good teammate.
I agree.
He plays with passion, and people love that. It's infectious, right?
It is. That guy's potentially like a Doak Walker running back of the year finalist. Like, he's a first team All-American. Like, he's in that conversation. It's incredible. Before we get to the defense, again, I do think we've Lateef, major salute. Emit Johnson, major salute. Dana Holgorsen. He's had some moments where you're going, God, what are you doing? But this is not an easy scenario for him to be in, where I thought in a week he put together a plan and stuck to it at a really high level. Like, I just thought he did a really good job. It's why you hire him and you hand him a freshman quarterback with the specific skill set, and you just and he builds a game plan. I thought he had a good night. I thought he dialed up the right calls in the right moments. I thought he was good too. So I just wanted to say that.
I'm really glad that, like, this game, it's like, it's UCLA, like, they're 3-5. Like, what are we talking about, right? Or whatever. I'm like, yeah, maybe. But there's a lot of things we need to keep going right to keep this ship on the right, course. And I feel like this game took us somewhere new. 7 wins. Holgorsen having a great night with our backup quarterback, showing that the whole team is better. Our program is better. We're clean. We're going to beat the team that's worse. We're going to close out a game that's close, right? Like,
I couldn't agree more.
I just feel like, a guy like Holgorsen, if this thing starts going off the rails, he might be gone. Like, these are the things that matter. Is like, you got to take what you can get when you can get it to keep us on course. And I feel like we're on course now. 7 wins with 2 more to go. The season's already pretty much, I would call it a success almost. by the standards of like, we won, it's like we're trying to get 7-8 wins. That was the goal.
I think I completely agree. I sometimes hate how week to week things are in football, and for us assessing this team, the sky's falling one week. Now it's great the next week. You're never, it's a cliche, you're never as good as people think. You're never as bad as what you think. The truth is always somewhere in the middle. But that's also the reality of football. You only get 12 of these things. You're only guaranteed 12. You get one a week. Each game can send you down a different path. Let's be honest. Yeah. Let's not sugarcoat. The Minnesota game was awful. That was an awful performance. And you need to assess it accordingly. I know UCLA is not very good, but all the things you just laid out, I think you leave feeling pretty good about a lot with the program right now. Again, we're going to find out more in these final 2 weeks, but I completely agree with that school of thought of this was felt like a big win.
Because we always lose that game. Let's be real. That game, I don't care that it's UCLA. We've played that game for 10 years, and we always lose it. And so we finally won that one, and we go, it's almost like we're trying to wrap our minds around that because it feels different now.
God. And maybe we're going to get to the defense here in a second. This could be more of a midweek pod topic, and it's going to be interesting what happens after the season with Emit Johnson and TJ Lateef. Emmett's now got the NFL opportunity.
Yeah.
But you would think Nebraska is going to offer him a lot. Whatever amount of money you got to get to keep him for another year, you want to do that.
Yeah.
What's hard is running back has a shelf life. You know what I mean? Like you only have so many years. It's going to be interesting.
But you can make a decent living in college now. He can
make $1 million. I would think Nebraska could offer him. Nebraska's going to need to offer him 7 figures. I would think
close to it, right? I think he's a guy that if you can make 7 figures, where I don't know. I don't like I say he's so hard for me to judge as a pro right now because we're just getting around on him as being a really good college player. Right? It just happened. So it's hard for me to be like, he can't make it in the pros. Well, he made it in college. So I
know
it's no different. So I need to wrap my head around his pro career, I think, before I even say anything about it. Because he's continually surprising me because I don't know.
I'm just saying that's an interesting storyline. Let's say Lateef continues to play well and Nebraska wins these last 2 games. Somebody in the portal is going to come after that guy.
Nick, he'll make some money. If he wins these last 2 games, he'll make some money somewhere. Let's be real. He will.
And at this point you go, I don't think you want to create some Brooke Behringer, Tommy Frazier quarterback controversy in the offseason where Tom Osborne's going to be like, each of you, I'm going to give you the whole season, and we're going to evaluate every practice and whoever. Because this isn't the legendary thing that Osborne between Brooke and Tommy in '95. It came down to maybe Brooke threw one more interception in practice or something like that. It was.
I think so.
He chalked it up I think Coach Osborne literally had it be like that. I'm not saying we're headed towards Tommy Frazier, Brooke Behringer part 2 with Dylan and TJ Lateef, but at the same time, this offense keeps humming. And they win these last 2 games?
That would be really interesting. It'd be such a good problem to have for us for once, and I'd welcome it. I would welcome that problem.
Yes.
We got a quarterback. I'd be like, great.
Yes.
Great. We got a quarterback controversy. Wonderful.
It's just, and we're forecasting issues, but nevertheless, you got to think about these things. It's just going to be interesting to see what happens now. Again, there's now there's tape on TJ Lateef. Penn State's going to be a different animal than UCLA. That environment's going to be a different animal than the Rose Bowl. The weather's going to be different than, I don't know, what was it? It seemed like it was a gorgeous night in LA. So and then Iowa comes to town where, it's Iowa. By the way, did you watch that? The football yesterday was so good.
I didn't get to see the Iowa or the Indiana game, but they both, I saw the highlights of both and was they just both look like amazing football games.
It was I'm sitting in my hotel room by myself saying out loud, this is so good. This is so Iowa playing any team in like freezing rain is like massive advantage to Iowa,
Kudos to Oregon for beating them in that.
I agree. I agree. So I say all that to say the world's about to really change though for TJ Lateef. Yeah. I mean, it's going to be these next two teams. Okay, hey, with the defense, in a lot of ways, it felt like the game kind of flipped on. It was 3rd and 1 in the second quarter. UCLA had the ball. Nebraska was up 14-7. They throw the ball on 3rd and 1. It sets up a 4th down. They run Nico, and Nebraska stops him. And in some ways, it felt like then Nebraska goes and scores, and now all of a sudden it's 21-7, and Nebraska's going to get the ball to start the 3rd quarter. They score on that drive, and it's 28-7, and it's pretty much ball game, even though it got a little tense at the end. But it felt like the game flipped on that 4th down stop.
I think that's right. I think that's right. I think it gave us a lot of confidence as a team when we made that play. Because, if they get it, it's like I said, this quarterback is such a wild card for if he's rolling and hot, it's hard to deal with because he was explosive at times when he takes off, he's tall, but he was still quick. So, I mean, it was like we couldn't tackle that guy in the open field to save our life. I mean, he was good.
That guy is impressive.
Yeah.
Like, running that look, I mean, he's huge and can move. So I don't know. The defense did what they needed to do. They gave up a 17-play, nearly 10-minute long touchdown drive early in the game. They gave up the 96-yard touchdown drive in the 4th quarter, which was so. It certainly wasn't the greatest defensive performance of all time. I guess anything else stand out to you? I just thought Nebraska looked, by the end of the game, it looked like a group that needed a bye week, like bad. Yeah. They just looked dead to me.
So two things stand out about the defense right now, which is kind of our we have a hard time closing out on quarterbacks. We really do. Like, we don't close when it comes to any quarterback that can scramble. Like, our ability to sort of rally to the scrambler is real bad. Like, we're not good at that. Like, our guys, they are always like on their heels instead of attacking quarterbacks for whatever reason. That's just not a strength of our defensive line. In the same way, then with our secondary did a bad job of tackling. I think everybody in the second level, we just took like bad angles. Yes. And so when they had guys in the open field, we didn't get them down very well. So we kind of it was a shaky night on that level, but like, it was a good enough performance. Like, you made him earn it most of the time, right? You made Nico go 90 yards a couple times. You like taking 10 minutes, like, okay, like, make him earn it. Right. So that was good enough for this game. And so I think that's fine. They made the big play, like you said earlier, to stop on the 4th and 1 that sort of flipped the game. So, like, did good enough. And really, they couldn't throw the ball down the field at all.
No.
All. So that this, we're still doing the kind of bend but don't break thing that is working. I do think this, like we talked about Holgorsen, I thought Butler called a good game. Like, I thought he had us in different sets. I liked what he did, and I think we just didn't execute and tackle. I thought we were in the right calls and just couldn't tackle. So in a weird way, I thought he did what needed to be done in the sense of, like, schematically it was clean enough. He had our guys in position, and the guys need to just make plays. Tackle him, get him down, sack him. You had chances, keep him in the pocket, yada, yada, right? Like, we just didn't do those things.
Yeah. I mean, it's easier said than done to bring him down, but there are numerous times it felt like you had him sacked and he escaped. The one swing pass, long touchdown, just bad tackling. I mean, just bad tackling. So it was a mixed bag, it was some good that quarterback is just, listen, UCLA offense isn't great, but that quarterback give you a big headache. I mean,
he beat a Penn State team when they were considered like a top 10 team, right? Like, so like that's a big time talent.
He was the quarterback for Tennessee. They were in the playoff. Like, I mean, that's the kind of college quarterback that gives you issues. I thought they batted down a couple of passes at the line of scrimmage, which was good to see. They got a couple of sacks. Keona Davis splashed a few times, which was good to see.
Mm-hmm.
Our boy Dason didn't play.
That hurt us too, because he had been good against this guy because he's fast.
Correct.
He could actually close a little bit better. I think that hurt us not having him, but we just haven't been good about that anyway, even when he's out there. So, that's a problem we're gonna have to solve in the future. But right now, it's like it didn't cost us the game, but it wasn't great.
It wasn't. Singleton led the team with 11 tackles. Javin Wright had 9. Again, 3 sacks. Keona Davis had 1. It was Winery, your boy.
He was gassed.
I got a tweet last night in the game. I want to relay it to you. Optimistic Husker. He tweets at me after Winery's sack. He goes, "When will Bo create an account on here? I just want to tweet at him that Winery is the greatest of all time and has the flash." So
I love it. Because Winery is he's my guy. He's still my guy. Don't get me wrong. I'm a Winery guy. Let's be real. But he was tired. He was just he had been trying. He got a sack and he'd been rushing a lot. And by the end of the game, he was just, you could tell there were certain plays he was just God, I'm just dead.
I just thought in general, the defense in the fourth quarter looked tired.
Yeah,
and I
we
get
got some guys out, so this bye week couldn't come at a better time.
Agree.
Get a win and get to rest up, feel good.
By the way, did it seem like every snap got to Nico slowly? Did you know? I don't know if it everything felt like something about the way they snapped the ball seemed odd to me. The timing of it felt bizarre, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So but other the defense, they weren't great. They did enough to win, which was good to see. I did think it was really. We'll get to the Peerless MVP in a second here. I did think it was really cool. I'm not sure if you saw the video of Marquise Buford. I think it was Buford in front of the whole team. Kind of had a little mini speech about how talk about doing a great job of stepping up when it's your time is to step up comes. He was talking and then the whole team picks up Lateef and he crowd surfs in the locker room. So I definitely think there was an element of everybody felt especially when that backup quarterback is a freshman.
Yeah.
There's a football players sometimes are they're protectors, and they got to. I think they all felt like they needed to protect and take care of TJ and played that way.
You got to step up. We can't win unless everybody's a little bit better. That's the truth.
Mm-hmm.
And it felt like the offensive line, their attitudes seemed different. I don't even know how to describe it other than I was watching the way they were walking around. It seemed like they were walking around with authority. I was okay.
I know. And I didn't know if it was a product of UCLA struggling, they're not very good or what it was, but I just thought in general, it goes to the offense had a different kind of Barney got back into the equation. Was an interesting night on that front. You want to get to the Peerless MVP?
Let's do it.
Okay. Before we do that, I know, we'll try to make it Before we do that, got to tell you about Pella Windows and Doors. There's nothing better than when I'm watching TV and all of a sudden, boom, the Pella commercial pops up. It's just fantastic. I work with everybody at Pella. They're great. Vince, Debbie, the whole crew. The showrooms in Omaha and Lincoln are top notch. Make sure if you need a new window, new door, whatever, get your journey started with Pella. Go to PellaOmaha.com. That's PellaOmaha.com. All right. I mean, let's be honest, it's going to be Emit here for the Peerless MVP.
Yeah.
But that's one heck of a first career start from TJ Lateef, man. 13 of 15, 205 yards, man. Do you want to co him?
Should we give him a co?
I mean, it's hard because the main stories out of this game are Emit Johnson. Holy crap, how good is this guy and how good was he? 232 total yards.
Yeah.
But then the other one is, holy crap, look at this true freshman quarterback and how well he played. I'm good with giving them both I'm good with giving them both an MVP.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I think that's fair because and Lateef had a homecoming too, right?
Yeah.
Homecoming.
Like everybody was probably hollering at him, tickets, all this stuff. I mean, it's a little distracting when you're coming back to the crib to play, So yeah. I'm good. I'm good with giving them both. I mean, impressive. I think everybody kind of thought at the start of the year that it would have been Jalen Gramstad would have been the backup quarterback. Like, it's just, imagine right now, Nick Bob Bo Ruud on August 15th swooping into this conversation. We're like, Emit Johnson, NFL, Emit Johnson, first team All Big Ten, Emit Johnson. Like, you'd be like, what? And it'd be like, TJ Lateef, man, I tell you.
I mean,
what?
You can't make this stuff up, Like, it's like, this is what happened. I don't know. That's why football's so great, is because this is how much things can change.
Things can change quickly, dude. I mean, really, really quickly. So the Peerless Energy Systems MVP, they're co-MVPs. This is our first co-MVP, right?
Yeah.
I don't even know anymore. I can't even remember what we talk about. But you got to give it. TJ Lateef, Emit Johnson, Peerless Energy Systems, your leading American manufacturer of Solaire, authorized distributor for Nebraska and Iowa. Any and all air compressor needs, you know what to do. Peerless Energy Systems has you covered. Manufacturing, food processing, transportation, refineries. Could go on and on, but you get the point. For any and all air compressor needs, Peerless Energy Systems is the spot. PeerlessEnergy.com. Okay, Nebraska goes into a bye week. It'll be interesting to see what we end up doing with the club, big dog. We got a lot of I'm getting tweets about the club.
Oh, that's fine. By the way, that was funny. But yeah, the club will be open for business, folks.
Oh, the club is. Are we gonna have to make an exception for an underage individual getting in the club? We're gonna have to serve him.
The club are flexible, Nick. Let me just tell you that.
Who is our
Chad Oaks?
Chad Oaks. For people who don't know, we had a fake ID that you used, I used. Other people, everybody used.
Guys just looked like everybody.
Do we? We should look up. Where's Chad? Is Chad Oaks? Where is Chad Oaks? Was he a fake person? Is he a real person?
I think he's real.
I mean, because it's not like a McLovin thing. But Chad Oaks, what was his record? His record getting into
undefeated. He's like
into the rail was.
He's like 100-0.
He's the Floyd Mayweather.
Never been beat. And with so many different, Mayweather goes different, and Bud, they go different, weight classes. Like Chad Oaks he took any comers. You want to go with him? I'll go with him. Yep. You ever do a girl? He'll get in. Who knows?
So I think TJ Lateef is going to get into the club with Chad Oaks ID. That's pretty much. So hey, shouts out to Chad Oaks, wherever you're at. Thanks, man.
I hope you're a listener, Chad.
There is a Chad Oaks. I'm looking on Facebook that went to UNL. I mean, he looks like about our age. Looks like he's a car dealership. I can't remember what this could be. Him,
brown hair.
He looked like an everyday guy,
Just an everyday fella,
an everyday kind of a guy. Okay, well, we survived. Technology hung in there. This is maybe the worst. Bo in a kitchen.
My dad's kitchen.
Your dad's kitchen. Luckily, Tom Ruud has not made an appearance to talk about anything.
I was hoping he'd just walk right behind it, not even notice.
Tom gets a piece of pie. Walk by.
We lock up the door. I'm gonna be outside here.
Going fishing in Canada. See you later. Be like, okay, see you, Dad. All right. Well, there you go. Do we need to? Should I go? Let's figure out Chad Oaks and get that ID. We probably got to do that before we do anything else. Let's go.
Let's go.
A Hurrdat Sports Network production.